Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my capstone blog. My name is Tristan Calloway, and I'm going to be doing a quick little breakdown of my first mix that I turned in for the Mix project. Now, firstly, let's go ahead and talk about the reference tracks that I used here. So, the site that I used to get my multi tracks for this song from offered an option where you could download a mixed preview of the track that you were getting tracks for. So, I went ahead and did that. I thought that would be useful to have as a reference, kind of see how somebody else took the track and mixed it themselves. And then I also used this track from the band Amyl and the Sniffers, I'm Not a Loser, because I kind of want this to have that like DIY kind of hard rock kind of feel. So I figured I'd get a lot of inspiration for that kind of sound from this track. Alrighty then, but now that we got that covered, let's go ahead and get into the drums. I didn't do too much here. I just got an EQ, getting rid of some boxiness on the kick. And I also have on the snare, I have an EQ, getting rid of some lows, getting rid of some ring, and adding some kind of top end there. And then kind of two compressors, just trying to accentuate that attack on the snare there. And then on overheads, I just got some lows being cut out and some highs being boosted a bit for that. And nothing on the toms really. All I did with the toms is just pan them left and right here. Not quite hard, but pretty far left and right. And then I also panned this snare a little bit to the right as well to give it a little bit of some depth, I suppose. And then let's go ahead and get over to the drum bus here. Did another EQ, getting rid of some lows here, getting rid of some boxiness, or some muddiness rather here, and make sure that it's not clashing with the bass at all. And then a little bit of boxiness here at 500 hertz. And then I just had another compressor, not going super hard, just kind of medium attack, medium release, just kind of getting like 2 to 3 dB of compression there. And then I also have this send, which is my crush bus, which I essentially just put some SansAmp on for a little bite and a little crunch. And then I have, you can't see these two because I'm not on the same computer I did this mix on, but I did some tape saturation. I cranked the drive on that. And then I have this impact plugin where I was really squashing it with the compression there, and then I was just kind of blending it in with the rest of the drums there, and I thought that gave it a nice kind of extra edge to it. And then I also had this EQ on it, kind of cutting the low lows and the high highs a bit. So yeah, that is the drums pretty much. So we'll go ahead and go over to the bass. And for the bass, I had a DI and an amp. For the bass, I basically just left everything below, like, was that 200 hertz here, and then I also saturated a bit with this tape plug-in, the same one I used before, and then I just boosted a little bit of 100 hertz there. And then with the bass mic, I just did a little kind of like bandpass thing, just left the mids here, and then I used this SansAmp again with the break fuzz preset. I thought it gave it a nice kind of fuzzy kind of character to it that stuck out in a way I liked. And if we go over the bus here, I just have this great compressor plugin, kind of just gluing the two together, compressing it a bit. So that is the bass. Now for the guitars, didn't do too lot on the guitar tracks themselves, just cut out some lows and dipped around where the vocals were a bit. And I panned them mostly like left and right here. But what I kind of, the fun thing I did here is I had these two reverb sends. I have a reverb pan to the left and the reverb pan to the right. And so I sent the essentially the opposite side guitar to each of those reverbs. So for this one that's panned to the left, I sent that to the reverb send that's panned to the right, and vice versa here with this one right here. and I felt like that it helped add a little depth to the guitars and make them feel a little bigger. And over here on those reverbs, I have just like a medium room setting, and then I have these tape saturation plugins cranked up pretty far on the drive, and then I just have these EQs just kind of cutting the lows out, and then taking some of those very high I's and taming them a bit. And from there, we'll go over to the guitar bus. I just have this EQ kind of dipping some low mids out a little bit, kind of cleaning it up down there, and then also clearing out some more space for the vocal here. And then I also just have this compressor here, just kind of lightly tapping it here with it, not getting too much gain reduction, maybe like 2 dB at most or something like that, just kind of catch those peaks. And finally, we'll go over the lead vocals here. So we have just 2 EQs, just kind of getting rid of the lows there. And then I also have these sent to a slapback just to kind of give it, I felt like it kind of gave it a nice kind of like retro sound with the slapback there. So I sent that, and with the slapback, it's just a pretty quick delay here, nothing really fancy on this send here. And then over here on the bus, I just got a little bit of boost in around 3K and adding some air here. And I have some compression. I have the all buttons mode engaged here on the 76, just for some character and some tone. And then I also have a send for this vocal comp, doing some parallel compression. And I'm also having some tape saturation. I have this Fairchild compressor on there too. And then I just am kind of getting rid of some lows and some very high highs there, just letting it focus on the mid range. And I just kind of blend that in with the original signal too. And yeah, ignore what I have on the master bus here. Really, I was just kind of playing around. None of this is on the final mix here, but yeah, that's essentially the mix I got so far, and I'm pretty happy with it. And definitely think there's more for me to explore. I might want to mess around with the guitars a little bit more and try and mess around with the tone I'm getting from that. But maybe try and get a little more kind of low end in the bass specifically. Try and get that to kind of feel a little more steady and foundational there. But yeah, this is what I got so far, and I'm pretty happy with it. So I'll keep you all updated on what else I'm get to working on next. But hope you found this informational, and we'll see you later then.